Hello, hello, how are you?
Good.
So this is the special side, and something wrong over here? Ladies, you scared them all away. I'm glad you all can make it tonight. My name's Aaron Keith, I'll be leading tonight, so I want to start off by thanking you all for being here. I know you all have busy lives and emails, and thank you for working it out to get here tonight. So, I want to see who's here. How many of you have been to one of the seminars before? All right, welcome back, it's great to have you here. Now, how many of you are new? First time? Excellent. Thanks for making it. Now, if you all need anything tonight, raise your hand, let me know. You can see any of the ladies in the back of the room. They'll be happy to take care of you. Restrooms, coffee, tea, whatever you need, we'll take care of it. So before we get into the content outside tonight, I want to explain a little bit about why these seminars exist. Well, coffee, tea, whatever you need. Not been here before, and don't be scared of these seminars. Personally, for me, this gives me a format which is what I love to do the most, which is work with business owners on how to grow and expand their business. I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face, so thanks for letting me have an opportunity to do what I like to do. Next, I wanted to do this in a group setting for a couple reasons. First, I think is a really important thing that business owners stop and work on their business. So many business owners get mired into their day-to-day that they don't have time to step back and actually look at their business, evaluate it, see what's going on, and then step back into it. So this gives us a format where we can actually step back and see what's going on in our business, work on it, evaluate it, learn something new about it before we step back in. That make sense? Mm-hmm. Cool. Now, another reason I want to do this in a group setting is for you all. We need other business owners working with other business owners. For all of us to excel, we need to be working with other people. So this gives us a format to interact with and work with other business owners, build relationships. Now, if you're on this side of the room, these are the different folks. Might want to really strongly consider that, but they're good people. Okay, so ready? Oh, one other thing. For those of you who have never been here before, if you're sharing and I'm like, got the serious thing going on, this is my listening face. So just a smile, I'll lighten up, I promise. I talk a million miles a minute sometimes. I love talking about business, so if I get on a rant and I'm like going for it, slow me down. Deal? Yes? Slow me down? You'll do that? Okay. So, who would be brave enough to read our intention tonight? Please. Hold on, nice and loud.
Okay. Our intention tonight is that we can all leave here with a higher level of confidence and effectiveness in word-of-mouth marketing.
Thank you. Now, first time kind of hits us, so one more time please, nice and loud.
That you leave here with a higher level of confidence and effectiveness in word-of-mouth marketing.
Thank you. All right, so what do you all hear inside that intention? Confidence. Effectiveness. What else? What's that?
Marketing.
What'd you say?
Free marketing.
Free marketing. Like it. We like free. What else? This side of the room is definitely winning. Not like it's a competition, but yeah.
Credibility.
Credibility. Yeah, good. What else y'all hear? Nothing else?
Effectiveness.
Effectiveness is right. All right, so why word of mouth marketing? Why? Well, it is. Word of mouth marketing is very, very inexpensive. A lot of it's free, but it's very, very inexpensive. What else? What's another benefit of it?
Reputation.
Say more about that.
You want somebody else to do spread the good word of your business. So it's all about upholding the good reputation within your business.
Yeah, and when someone else is talking about you, it's actually one of the most effective kinds of marketing. Third-party endorsement. Yep. What else?
I was just going to say, I feel like any avenue of marketing that you ever try to do, you're trying it at the end of the road to achieve some word of mouth from it.
Yeah.
So, do that and not have to take out the ad or do whatever.
Yeah, again, it's inexpensive and it's effective. It is one of the most effective kinds of marketing any of us can do. And so the cool thing is, too, it acts as the foundation of all your marketing. Do you guys know that? Word of mouth marketing is the foundation to almost all the kinds of marketing you'll ever do. If you're not effective at word of mouth communication, how are you going to be effective at anything else, which is even harder? At least this gives us a feedback mechanism, right? I can tell if she's falling asleep when I'm talking about my business. Where when you're writing your long emails, you can't see the person snoozing on the other end, going, delete. So this really is the foundation to a lot of the different kinds of marketing we're going to do. So word of mouth marketing is made up of about 4 main areas. Anyone want to guess what those are? Guess. It's okay.
Referrals.
Referrals. Bingo. That's one. Aaron, come on. Guess. Wake up. Come on.
Word of mouth marketing referrals. I don't know. I can't think right now.
That's not an area, by the way.
I know.
Yes, Noemi.
Business affiliates.
Yes, business affiliates, business alliances, sphere of influence. Yep.
Reviews.
What's that?
Reviews or something.
Reviews. No. Good, but no. Yep.
Sorry, Erin.
Stealing it from her. Yes.
Like her though, so that counts.
Yeah, past customers. We'll just loop that into past customers. What else? One more area. Yep.
Does Yelp count?
Yelp would be online. This is going to be a small stretch, but we're going to make it anyway. I would, no. Let me think where Yelp would fit. You got to figure this out. It's social media, yeah, but where he's coming at it from word of mouth, it's referrals. Yeah, it's a third party. I mean, I would lump it under referrals. I mean, the section of marketing, I'd call that like online marketing. But in the word of mouth scheme of things, I think it would go into referrals. This is a great question. You stumped me last time too. This is 2 seminars in a row. I like it. That's good. Yeah. Current clients we're lumping into non-actives, that whole clientele base, your customer base. Networking. What you're here to do. Networking. 4 main areas. So let's talk about this a little bit. These are systems. I want to make sure you guys are getting this. This is a system, not just a conversation. Referrals is a referral system, okay? It's the system that's generating referrals from customers or people who know you. Networking is when you're interacting with an individual or a group of people. Past customers, someone that you've done business with, who's not currently doing business with you. Does that make sense? Are you all clear on the areas? I want to make sure you're crystal clear on the areas. Yeah? All right, let's roll. So this is going to be something a lot of you have worked with me on before who've been here. There's 2 areas that we're going to work on intensely. When we're working at performance and effectiveness, there's always 2 areas. What are the 2 areas? Raise your hand, I was close. There's 2 areas when we're looking at our performance. There's the mental game and the physical game. So your mental game of marketing is your opinions, your views, your thoughts when you're doing marketing or about marketing. There's the physical game, you actually taking actions, and your effectiveness, your approach, your technique when you're taking actions. Does that make sense? Yeah? So what do you guys hear in that so far? What do you hear in that? There's something about that.
There's a difference between what you think and what you do. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
or trying to,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, how you approach things. Like for myself personally,
mhm.
I'm totally bored with marketing. I know it's something that I have to do, but it's not my forte. It's not my passion.
Yeah.
So I know it's something that I physically have to do,
Mhm.
but I wish I didn't.
Yeah. Do you,
Or I wish I had somebody else doing it or something. But
yeah. How many of you wish someone else would do your marketing for you? Be honest. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, it's great. So that's what I'm looking for. What you said was brilliant. That was brilliant. What she said is the gold. Can you hear the blend? There's a blend in there between the mental game and the physical game. She has to do the marketing. She doesn't want to do the marketing. That's the mind. The mind is saying, I don't want to do this, but she has to physically do something that she doesn't want to do. So if her mind is like, not interested, but the body's actually doing it anyway, how effective can she be? There's only so much effectiveness that can come from that, right? Even if you're giving it, the old college try, there's only so much that can come from that. So what we're looking for is the blend. between the mental, it's the marriage between the mental and the physical. Tonight as we're working, you want to look at it from that perspective. Some of you, depending on what area we're working on, it might be really mental for you. That might be where your effectiveness is diminishing. Some of you, it might be your technique, it might be your approach that's hurting your effectiveness. Does that make sense? Yeah. And for some of you, it might be both. I'd venture to say for a lot of us, there's generally some gold in both. Yeah? You guys doing okay? You guys look really serious over there. What's that?
Is there a stopping?
No, it's fun. Really, it's fun. So we're going to address that. So let's talk about referrals first. Referrals is, for most businesses, I would say referrals is the number one way that we all should generate business. Can you guys align behind that? That referrals should be a primary way that our business is generating more business. Okay, so I want you to really be honest, okay? Honest, spill it out there, even if it's ugly. I want to hear the ugly stuff. What are your thoughts? What are your views? What are your opinions on asking for referrals?
I don't like to.
You don't like to? Okay, what else?
I don't know how to.
You don't know how to?
Afraid your customers are going to be not like you asking for that.
Might be turned off by it?
Yeah.
How many of you have the, I don't want my turn off my customers? Yeah, huge majority. Yep, what else?
Something else I've heard from my clients is if I ask for that,
A little louder.
if I ask for referrals, it's going to make me look like I'm not very successful.
Mm.
I'm needy. So it's not offending them,
Yep.
but how might it make me look?
How many of you have that? Like if I ask for referrals, I'm gonna look like I'm dead and I don't have any business and I'm desperate. You have a little bit of that going on? Yeah, okay. Again, notice the different places you can be. That's the stuff that's running you. That's the conversation in the background. So if your mental game is playing that tape, the physical game can only be so effective. Especially if the physical game is like, I don't really know what to say. So how many of you actually get nervous asking for referrals? I'd say most hands would probably go up for that, yeah. So consider this, the nervousness may not ever go away. It may not, I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's gonna. It may not go away. But we don't want our nervousness to affect our performance and our effectiveness. We don't want it to stop us. I'd venture to say, because I also coach some of you in the room, how many of you, your nervousness actually stops you from asking sometimes? Great, so that's the worst expression of it because it's actually stopping you. Take a football player or any professional athlete, a lot of them take the field in whatever sport they're in and be nervous. Olympic athletes, the best in the world, most of them are nervous when they take the field. It doesn't stop them, but they're nervous. They're nervous because they have something at stake. They have something at stake. A lot of you are nervous because your attention's on something and it's not what's at stake. I don't think that was a very clear sentence, I'll say that again. A lot of you are nervous because of where your attention is. So let's look. How many of you, be honest, you gotta really look to get the value out of this. When you're asking for referrals, is your attention on you? Raise your hand. How many of you, like when you're actually paying attention, what's coming out of my mouth? Do I sound like an idiot? Oh my gosh, are they falling asleep? Oh my God, am I offending them? You're actually thinking when you're talking. Yeah, so your attention, that would be your attention's on you. So you're in your head. You're in your head, you're not present, right? So let's check another scenario. When you're talking, how many times your attention's on the person you're talking to? Raise your hand. How many? When you're asking for referrals, your attention's on that other person.
Meaning what, like listening to them?
Yeah, you're over there with them.
50%.
50%, okay. Either one of those scenarios, you're going to be nervous. Or you'll be more nervous. Because you're not putting your attention on what matters most. Physics says that only one thing can occupy the space at a time. I think that's physics, yes? I do business, I don't do math. So, what do we want our attention on? There's something that we can put our attention on that will make a difference. Renee, don't say it. What can we put our attention on that will make a difference here?
That person,
On what person?
the person you asking for referral?
To the person I'm talking to?
Yeah.
Nope.
Referral that you're
The client that you're going to.
Exactly. Yeah.
I try to put my attention on what their level of satisfaction is. I ask them first, And then if it's high, I say, well, would you mind telling other people about it?
Okay, good. The end result, the approach is good, so that's technique. He's blending technique. We'll get the technique in a second. It's what your attention's on. So if I'm asking you for referrals, my attention isn't going to be on you. It's what you both said. My attention is going to be on the person that hopefully you're going to introduce me to so I can make a difference for them. Listen carefully, this is the gold. This is what will make a difference in the rest of tonight's conversation. You want to put your attention on making a difference for another human being. If you are clear, if you are grounded in, you are going to make a difference for another human being. No matter what comes out of your mouth, you're going to do great. And you're going to be effective at it. And the person you're talking to will be left empowered and clear that you want to make a difference no matter what fell out of your mouth. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure that is at the source, at the ground level of everything that you do when you're marketing. When you're writing an email, that needs to be at the source of what you're writing an email from. If you come from making a difference, it will land well or land better. Now, I'm not promising that's going to handle your nervousness, because people who have something at stake are going to be nervous. They're nervous because they have something at stake called, I'm going to make a difference for another human being. When you come from that, you're going to at least be empowered. You might be a little nervous too, but at least you're going to be empowered. And you're going to leave the person you spoke to empowered as well. You follow? All right, any questions on what I just said? Really? Oh. Well, give me the kind of question.
Well, I don't know. It's a broad one.
It's fine.
So what exactly are you saying?
We haven't got into technique.
Okay, got it.
Are you going to technique?
I was just making sure I didn't miss something.
No, we're getting through all the sections. We're going to get your mind in check first. Because if we don't deal with the mind, the physical game is never at peak. It's never going to hit its peak. So we got to get your mind in check. So the mental conversation so far is make a difference for another human being. So if we have that as our foundation, now let's talk technique.
And wait, by make a difference, you're saying like make what you can do for them, making a difference in their business, whatever you, okay.
Whatever your craft is.
Whatever their life,
Yeah, that's a sales. To get into that in a deep way would be a sales conversation. Hold that real quick, I'll zip back. What's going to happen is all of you should actually know the difference your product or service makes for others. If you're not grounded in that, you got to get to the source of that. That's very, 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 very important. We do a seminar on that, so we can't do that in here tonight. It's a whole long conversation. But most business owners, I would say, are not fully grounded in the difference that their product or their service makes for another human being, or for their community, or for the world. Because everything that you do does make a difference for the person, the community, the world. You just probably haven't extrapolated it to that degree. What you got?
Without getting into technique, I was thinking, would this be like enlisting the collaboration of your client in sharing their enthusiasm to others so that others can benefit just like they just did?
Bingo.
Kind of a collaboration thing.
Yeah. Brilliant. Did you guys hear what he said? It was brilliant what you said. Yeah, the collaboration. So I'm gonna say what he said in another way. When you share your excitement and your client shares their excitement for the difference that was made for them or the experience they had, that's infectious.
Yes.
That's what social media is trying to do. P.S. So when you can share excitedly about something and they share excitedly about something, then it spreads like wildfire.
Can I give
Yeah,
an
please.
example?
I'd love
so
one.
I do hair, so I don't know if everybody's got this or not, but it just came to me. But like, so basically, when I do one of my clients' hair and they are just loving their hair and they're like, oh my God, I love this so much, and I have a friend that would love you, and I'm like, isn't it great? They need to call me because I want them to feel as good as you do about your hair.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
When someone's excited, you can use that opportunity like, listen, I want to make other people feel this way. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have a concern about that, you have an aversion to sales. Again, that's another conversation, see me at the end, but that is an aversion to sales. And it happens when people are not grounded in the difference you make. Every product, every service makes a difference, or the business will go out of business. Pretty clear, that's how we know. All right, let's mock this, because talking about this is all theoretical. Let's actually mock this and get on the court and do this game. So, will you mock with me? I'm going to do the hard work. All you have to do is follow along.
Oh, no.
I'll pick another one if you want.
Okay.
Okay, Stephanie, will you?
She should mock.
Stephanie, will you mock?
What am I mocking?
I'm going to ask you for referrals.
Okay.
All you have to do is follow my lead.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to be me. I'm going to be a business coach. I'm going to pretend we just finished up a coaching session, and I'm going to ask you for referrals. And I want you to get through the conversation, actually give me one so they can see how it's going to flow.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to just do what I normally do. I haven't practiced this. This is just really how I ask. And I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I want you to pay attention to how I'm being. And I want you to pay attention to how long the conversation goes, because it might be a little longer than some of yours. Okay? So Stephanie, our call's wrapping up right now. So before we go, I want to see, do you have about 5 minutes? I want to ask you a business question.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So listen, I'm opening up a couple slots in my calendar. And I wanted to see, do you know any business owners that might need some support with growing their business? Whether they're struggling a little bit and they need a hand, or they're doing really well, but they could use some guidance on going to that next level. Does anyone come to mind?
Yeah, I have a couple people.
Who are you thinking of?
My friend Ilana.
Ilana. What does she do?
Yeah, she's a naturopathic doctor.
Awesome. How do you know her?
We're actually roommates, so.
Oh, very cool. Has she been doing it a long time?
Yeah, she has
Okay,
a
great.
couple of years.
What have you noticed that she's struggling with or dealing with?
She is trying to figure out a way to market herself effectively.
Okay. Is she passionate about what she does?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I've coached other doctors in her field and other doctors, period. It's definitely a different industry. So the marketing is a little different than, say, the average widget, the average thing you're selling. Do you think she'd be just open to just having a brief conversation with me over the phone?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well, if you're comfortable with it, could you send both of us an email and introduce us? I'll chat with her a little bit over email. I have some articles I can send her. There's generally a couple books I can recommend as well. So I can just chat with her for a little bit over email and at least give her some resources, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool, thank you.
Do I get a referral bonus at all?
I actually, no, it's really great you asked. I actually have a referral program. So if someone sends me a client and they end up hiring me, if it's a private client, they get $200, and if it's a group client, they get $100.
Okay,
So I actually do have a referral program, so I'm glad you asked.
good.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So what was your experience of that? Be honest, what was your experience?
Straightforward, relaxed.
It wasn't straightforward.
It was a conversation.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
comfortable at all. I didn't feel like it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that was off the cuff. You could hear me stutter a little bit, like that was real. And that happens to be Ilana. Hi, Ilana. I know. So here's how a lot of you ask for referrals. If you know anyone that might need my service, could you introduce us? Okay, great, thanks.
Here's my card.
Here's my card. That's how a lot of you ask for referrals, right? Yeah. Doesn't work.
It's like you weren't selling your business, you were offering your assistance.
My intent, where I was standing, was I want to make a difference for someone. Let's see if she knows anyone I can help. Now, check this out. Be honest, how many of you authentically like to make a difference for other people? Show of hands. Huh. So let me get this straight. You guys like to make a difference, right? But you're weird about asking someone else to make a difference. When everyone likes to make a difference, it's human nature. It's how we've evolved. If we didn't have cooperation and help, our species wouldn't exist. It's built into our DNA. It's fundamental. We can't get rid of it. So you like to make a difference for someone, and you know they like to make a difference for someone too, but you're weird about asking them to make a difference for you and make a difference for the person they're referring, because it's going to make a difference for that person too. So you're going to feel good, you're going to feel good, and Alana's going to feel good. And you're weird about that.
It's a win-win-win.
Right, it's a win-win-win. But you guys are making this chaotic. You're making this so difficult when really all it is a win, win, and a win.
Now, I noticed when you guys were doing the mock, that your energy level went way up.
Yeah.
Like just because you were getting excited about being able to help your friend. And it was,
Yep.
It was great, yeah.
So let's talk about how that happened. That's part of the technique. That's part of the stuff. Now, before we get there, I just want to do one more mock. So I'm going to mock with you, And when I ask you, if you know anyone, to say no. Just be very curt.
Okay.
Just no. So listen, we're coming up at the end of our coaching session. Do you have a quick couple minutes?
No.
Well, you actually get to the point where I have to ask, you silly. You gotta let me ask first. Redo, play over. Stephanie, we're coming up at the end of our coaching time. And I want to see, do you have a couple minutes? I want to ask you a quick business question.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome. So listen, I'm opening up a couple spots in my calendar, and I'm looking for a couple really great clients that would want to take the slots. Do you happen to know anyone that might be interested in growing their business?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay, great. Well, if anyone comes to mind, let me know, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Have a great week.
You too.
Talk to you next week. Guys, notice something? I'm not bleeding. I didn't lose my arm. I'm still alive. Y'all relate just like you're going to die. Something's going to fall out of the sky and crush you. She said, no, I'm still ticking. It's good. Nothing bad's going to happen.
Put it on the spot, but the thing that I think my biggest fear is her first reaction. Because whenever I'll walk up to somebody and they just, my field is different in the restaurant industry, so I walk in and these people have about negative 2.3 seconds to talk to anybody ever. So by the time they come out from the back room, they're like in a huff, So I'm trying to be like, hey, and they're like, no, bye,
Great. Let's mock. Let's mock. So be huffy, be fast, be in the restaurant industry. I'm gonna be you. Hi, how's it going?
Fine.
Good. Listen, do you have a couple minutes to talk?
I don't actually. We've got a delivery coming in right now.
I got it. You're super busy, huh?
I am.
Really busy.
Yeah.
You're probably busy all the time in this industry, aren't you?
Gotta go.
I got it. So listen, can I make an unreasonable request? I mean, I know I am asking for the moon and the stars right now.
Make it quick.
Make it quick? Thank you. See? Just got in. Get in their world. If he's focused on him, he's not going to be able to do that. Right? If you're focused, if you're grounded in making a difference, you can be still. I just let all your stuff come to me like, I got it. You're busy, huh?
You asked for permission.
I asked for permission too. People will generally say yes if you ask for permission.
And I really do get that. Like I try to get to that place. I think what stops me is I hate that so bad that I just stop.
Mental game.
It's rejection.
You guys hear the mental game?
It is rejection.
It's a mental game.
Like,
Fear of rejection.
It's fear, but again, it's not technique. It's mental game. So I'm saying mental game and physical game. You have to be so grounded in wanting to make a difference that you're willing to stop that. Now, one other thing I want to see if you all noticed, do you notice that I wasn't meek or shrinking in his presence of his, no. Did you guys notice that? You have to do that. You have to be the leader. If you are an expert in your industry or your field, you're the person who's most informed, yes? So why would you let them dominate you when you have more information than they do? When you can make a difference for them? The person who's making the difference leads the conversation. You get that? And I didn't that's why I also brought up my intention a little bit. I was like, I got it. You're busy. You're always busy. Now I'm asking for the moon and the stars. I have an intention behind me too. I'm holding a space. I'm holding a firm line. Because I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm going to get my question asked. You get that? Because I can say, listen, I know you're busy, but what I have to say, if we were to keep role playing, I say, listen, I know you're busy, and what I have to say is very important. And I know you're never going to have time. So my request is, can you literally, I'll time 2 minutes. We'll put the watch on the ground, 2 minutes, and I'll make it worth your while. Hear the confidence? I'm not asking, I'm recommending. Strongly. It's that intention that pierces a veil like that. Now, most of you aren't going to have to do that because most of your industries aren't that confrontational or aggressive. Yours is. So you'll have to bring your energy up to that.
Consulting I found is a huge difference. That
Yeah.
actually I really enjoy. It's the retail side of things. It's a much tougher, it's a different story. It's just kind of like they think you're trying to sell them a used car or something. I don't know. So.
Again, and that's also part of the context you're probably bringing to it. Mindset. You guys hear all the mindset? Let's talk technique. So, yeah.
I also noticed you vetted her.
Mhm.
So, and that's part of something I'm getting into for clients with me.
Technique.
Okay.
We're going to do that right now.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting ahead.
All right, for all you getting aheaders, let's do this. So, in front of you, the first piece of paper down should be the one on top, all the bullet points. We want the bullet points. Referral conversation. I'm going to go through the main bullet points that I hit. And you can string any hunk of words together that you want, and you don't even have to follow this in this order. All I'm saying is these bullet points are the main foundation, the main structure to asking for referrals. Now, your clients don't know the structure, so if you do this in a weird way, it's fine. So let's go through this. Ask them if they have a minute. Listen, you've just been having a particular conversation. We're about to change gears. Listen, do you have a quick couple minutes? I want to ask you a business question. Or, hey, do you have a moment? I want to change gears real quick and talk to you about something else. Ask them if they have a moment. Get them present. Let them know you're now taking on some new customers, new clients, whatever the verbiage is for your industry. I never say, I'm looking for more business. It's so open-ended, it's just kind of weird. Most people aren't going to send you 16 people, so don't ask for it. Ask for what's realistic. Do you know 1 or 2 people? Or I'm opening up 1 or 2 slots. It's realistic. Let's ask for what's realistic. Every time we're more accurate, it gets farther in the brain. Gets you farther in there. Make sense? You can let them know if you want the type of customer you're looking for. I didn't do that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Does that make sense? Very valuable to do. Ask them if they know anyone who could use your product or service. This is the ask. Don't be a chicken about this. Actually ask them, listen, do you know anyone who fits this? What do you do after you ask? It used to say, shut the hell up. It says let them think now. We did the PC version. You got to be quiet. Zip the lip. Most of you are going to be nervous and you're going to want to keep talking. So the hardest thing right here is let them, you just ask them a question. Don't keep talking. Look at them. Ask. And then they'll actually, oh, you're asking me. Let them think. Look at your watch, look at your phone, do something. You guys are usually on your phone anyway. Look at your phones, then get back to them. If they think of someone, and this is what you're looking for, this is what you noticed. When they think of someone, get their name and ask pointed questions. How do you know them? Where are they from? What do they do? How long have they been doing it? Get interested in them. Why do we do this? This is a very critical part of this conversation. Why do we do this?
To see if they're a good fit for you.
What's that?
To see if they're a good fit for you.
Yes, and there's more.
Establish emotion, kind of.
Establish emotion, yep. Because when that person's talking about the problems or the pain of that human being, they're getting emotionally interested. That's why you notice her energy level go up, Rob. That's why it went up. She started to get present to something. That's natural human nature. We're letting the brain do what it already does. Okay, and what else? There's still more.
I think it'll help you understand that new client more.
Bingo. Now you understand this person. So if and when they call, you already have some background of relatedness. Hey, I heard you're dealing with this, or I heard this is going on. It's no problem. Relax. We can talk about that. So it has you get present to them, has them get present to them. So now the space changes. The energy shifts. The conversation shifts. Let them know that you can indeed help that person. A lot of people kind of skip over this because they think it's obvious. It's all of 8 seconds. Listen, I've dealt with this before. I can totally help them.
That's all you have to say. You don't have to be more specific.
Nope.
I find that's a really important piece, is actually letting them know, yes, I can help them.
Yeah, here's why it's so important. They're about to trust you with someone who's near and dear to them, and their reputation's on the line. So they need that, like, yes, I've dealt with this before, or I'm familiar with this. They need to hear that you got this. It's again, we're dealing with mental cues in the brain. There's a lot of psychology in this. Okay, we're dealing with little mental cues. If they say yes, they'd be willing to introduce you. You got to ask them, would you be willing to introduce us? I always ask permission. I don't assume, I don't force something on them. Listen, would you be willing to introduce us? She said yes, which is generally what's going to happen. We're asking a yes question. My recommendation these days, ask for an email introduction. Especially with smartphones and all the technology, someone could be sitting at your chair, sitting in front of you and send an email in all of 15, 20 seconds. Hey, John meet Susie, Susie meet John, I think you guys should talk, blah, 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 send. It's very fast and it's low confront. It's low confrontation. And, yeah, go ahead.
What about a
You can do that. Group text.
Okay.
Group text, yes. Here's the other thing too. I did do it when we were mocking, is I let you know that I can send her some informational stuff, some books, some recommendations. I didn't make it sound like it was like a hard sales conversation. So sometimes that helps soften it, because some people have some concerns, like you're going to hard sell their friend. Soften the blow. Listen, I just want to talk to them over the phone. I have some resources for them. I'd just be happy to chat with them. So you can soften that conversation so they don't make up or perceive it's a sales conversation. Because then you're dealing with someone else's beliefs around sales. Listen, I just want to talk to them casually, want to get to know them. I got some good resources I can pass them on to, some sites to check out. It'll be a really fun conversation for them. Make it light, make it easy. Okay? So, any questions on the format of this? Yeah?
I just have a couple points, actually, to make.
Sure.
Because this is a brilliant, I like this template a lot. The couple things that I do already, which makes me feel a little bit more comfortable, if you don't mind just to
Go,
share,
please.
Because I didn't realize that I did this, is that I'm in an industry where any patient can walk in at any time. But I actually want to build a target market of like the patients I really love treating.
Yeah.
So I'm finding that for me, it's like anxiety and depression. It's my favorite type of patient to treat. And so when that patient comes in with those ailments, I feel so comfortable asking for the referral, because I'm like, I love treating this. I'm so glad you're doing so much better. If you have any friends that are also suffering from this, please keep me in mind. And then it like opens it up. So now I'm actually creating my own target market.
Yeah.
And they see that I can really help them with that.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that was actually part of it. I just wanted to help them.
Right.
So that was a good addition into like build. It's like another added bonus.
It is. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of you do certain points in here. The reason you do, this is a very intuitive conversation. This has been designed by myself for years and years of practice. So I've done this with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients. So we've just watched, how does the brain move? How does it absorb the conversation? And what are the key points to move the brain to the next step, and then the next step, and the next step? So a lot of you are doing this intuitively anyways. This is an intuitive conversation. So that's what I'm saying, is no matter how you butcher this, it's going to work out great, as long as you're coming from the place of making a difference. Because they don't know these points. So even if you miss half these points, you're going to do great. So we're going to have you practice now. So I want to pair you up. How do I want to do this? Threes. Let's do this. We're going to pair you up in groups of 2. So you two know, all 3 of you know each other. Let's do this. How about you 3 turn around? Would you mind jumping up here? That way, then you 2 can turn around. Naomi, would you jump over and then you 2 can turn around? Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum-bum. You 2 should pair up, and then we'll do 2s and 2s. Oh, that worked out. All right. All right. So meet your people. All right, everybody, meet your people, meet your people, meet your people. All right, you ready? So I want you to pick an A and a B between you 2. Who's an A, who's a B? Go. Pick an A and a B. You want to be A or you want to be B? You're A? Everyone have an A and a B? All right. Shh. So A's are going to go first. Here's how this is going to go. So here's the directions. A's, you're going to mock first. When you're done, B's, you're going to mock. Then A's, you're going to mock. Then B's, you're going to mock. We're going to do this 3 rounds through. The reason I don't want you going 3 times in a row is I want you to experience doing it and then receiving how it is to be on the receiving end of this conversation. So you're both learning, then you do it again and again, okay? So A's are going to go, B's are going to go, A's are going to go, B's are going to go, and so on. I'm not going to time you, so just keep on doing the loop, okay? When you're done, just get back to your regular seat so I know that you're finished up. Deal? Deal. Any questions? You have the handout in front of you. I would recommend looking at the handout. This is the place to start to get comfortable with the conversation. And just to be clear, your partner needs to give you a yes. I have someone so you can go all the way through. Don't be, no. All right, you guys all clear what to do? Yes. How many of you are nervous? Yes, because you're not focused on making a difference. You're relating to this like you're mocking, and you are. But just because you're mocking doesn't mean the person across from you can't refer you someone. So take this moment, ground yourself a little bit. Yes, we're practicing. And yes, this is also an opportunity to ask another human being in life, do they know someone? Okay? Ooh, you guys got all serious on me. I like it. I like it. All right, A's, you're up. Go. Bring it on back. Acknowledge your partners, everybody. Great work. So how was that? Did it get easier? All right, everyone bring your attention. I know that was fun, right? A lot of energy in that. Yes. How many of you actually, a possible referral came out of your conversation?
One of them.
That's a lot of hands. Yeah, that's great. Good work. So did it become easier?
Yes.
Okay. Any concerns? It's practice, right? It's a little practice. So here's your homework. My request is that you take the script, stand in front of the mirror, and talk through it like you're talking to someone in the mirror. Go through it around 3, 4, 10 times. Just go through it till you get really comfortable with it. You can see just from going, I know some of you didn't finish all 3 turns, but you see it got easier, got more comfortable. If you do this in the mirror a couple times, you'll be grounded in the information. Make sense? All right, you ready for the next section? Let's move on. Past customers. Past customers. So why is it so important to be able to effectively market to past customers?
Because you know they paid you.
Yes. This is good. This is good. What else?
They know.
What's that?
They know my ability and my services.
Yep. They know who you are. What else?
Their experience with you and what you provided.
Yeah?
Feedback that I've heard.
So here's something interesting. You know, statistically, it's between 4 to 5 times easier and cheaper to reactivate a past customer than it is to go get a brand new customer.
That's not good in the divorce.
May not
Maybe
be
statistically true.
may not be cheaper, huh?
Yeah.
Repeat customers are good.
Yeah.
They know your services, they know your fees, they know how to negotiate, they know how to get the house, or they want another shot to get in the house again. I lost the house in the last one. I'm going to do it this time. But generally, it's a lot easier to get your past customers back in. Okay? So let's look at this a little bit. I want to know, again, I want you really looking honestly, what's really there for you? What are some of your concerns? What are some of your thoughts that hold you back from marketing to your past customers?
Well, like they left, so like maybe I did something wrong and that's why they left.
How many of you have that? Maybe I didn't do a very good job. It's really common. That's a really, really common one. What else?
No, I actually do market to my past customers, and the reason is they're pre-qualified leads. Any referral you get, it's your job to screw it up.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And a lot of people just don't follow up because they don't know. They just don't know. And a lot of people also don't have a system. So if you are following up, it's great. Now we got to check on the system. So let's look at the system behind this.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, of course.
About the past. My boyfriend, he is fly fishing guy. So
Okay.
what he does, he then takes clients to fly fish.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a lot of past clients, but for some reason sometimes he feels uncomfortable to go back to them. And the reason is what he thinks that, okay, they went with me, we did it several times. If they wanted me, they would call themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I change that?
What do you think it is?
I think it's probably fear of rejection, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. But can you hear he doesn't know? He's assuming, he's making up a story about it. He doesn't actually know. Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of you have a fear, a concern. They either didn't like your service, if they liked your service, wouldn't they just come back? It's not the case. People are really busy. Y'all are really busy people, right? You got stuff going on. So if it doesn't pop in front of your face, you may not think about it. Your job is to get back in front of your customer. A lot of people have a concern about contacting their customer because a lot of you are trying to sell stuff to your customers. I'm not saying we shouldn't sell to our past customers. What I'm saying is it's not the primary thing to do. It can be done at a certain point. Okay? At a certain point, you can sell to your past customers. That is not the main way of interaction, though. If every time you're calling a past customer and trying to sell them something, it's not going to go well. You're not going to even allow yourself to pick up the phone because you know it's wrong. So what is again, remember at the beginning we talked about referrals, having your attention on something? What should your attention be when you're calling a past customer?
Having to be your new customer.
Having to be your new customer? No. Mm-mm. What else? Good question. Good, but no.
Just building a relationship.
Building a relationship, yes. When you're calling a past customer, your job is to get related to them. Related to them. Hey, get in their world. Remember when I was asking for referrals, I was in her world. You want to get in your client's world. What's going on with you? How's life? How's the kids? How's your travel? How's business going? Get in their world. Your job when you're calling a past customer is to uphold the relationship. Keep it in good standing and stay related. That's your job. If you do that, then what happens next?
You ask for referrals.
They generally come back.
They think of you when
Yeah.
you're in a situation because you're always, if you're checking in to see how things are going, for example, with my divorce cases, if I check in, how are things going? Do you need any referrals? Do you need any support in any other way? My intent is not to sell them anything because they're already divorced.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, but I'm offering, being a resource for them and offering them, other things they may need. And so when they have a friend who discloses to them, hey, we're thinking of separating, divorce, then I'm going to be present because I've been keeping that rapport.
Yeah, you're top of mind. That's the thing. People are so busy. I don't remember the study. It was years ago, so I'm sure it's way off now. But people are exposed to so much marketing in a given day. It's astounding. Astounding. So for you to stay top of mind is a lot more difficult, and I'm sure it's going to continue to be more difficult given the way culture's going. Yeah?
The statistic point of view, they say that for a customer to remember you or to choose your brand or your company, it takes 16 points of contact, like visualization, conversation.
It's a lot. It's a lot of time to pass to do that 16 times.
2 seconds.
And what?
I have 2 seconds on a website to grab somebody's attention and make them stay there.
Wow.
That's how long it takes for somebody to click through and go, no, on to the next.
2 seconds. You better be good at what you do. Yeah.
On that note of just getting inundated with marketing material from people, because I have this reaction of like, oh my God, I've got so many emails, I'll just choose, do I want to unsubscribe or not? It holds me back from sending my newsletter sometimes or sending it every week. Now it's once a month because I'm like, I don't want to be that person that they like cringe.
Right.
I don't know how to get past that mental block because it's just
Okay.
real.
How many of you have that? You don't want to overmarket.
Can I add on to that?
Please.
Definitely. I'm the same way. Like if I get something from somewhere, I'm like, so many emails, like leave me alone, and I unsubscribe. But if you build a relationship with your customers, they're gonna see that, hey, you are sending me an email, you are connecting with me somehow, and it's not Coca-Cola sending out a million emails.
Right.
It's somehow it's how you keep in touch with your customers,
Mhm.
and they're seeing just that personal relationship.
Yeah, great. What you said is very accurate, right on the money. Where I would take that conversation next is we're talking about calling your past customers. You notice I didn't say email. I didn't say the word email. You see how you guys took its email? Because and this is you're going to hear me go on a soapbox rant. You ready? Soapbox rant. So a lot of you are chicken, so you send emails. The population is chicken. They send emails and text messages. This world's turned into a text, email, frenzy way of communication. Text and email suck at communication. Sorry, it sucks. So my rule is, unless you have a really good rapport with someone, you should not email them or text message them. In business, you shouldn't text message, period. I know hairstylists have a whole thing about this. I don't do it. Don't recommend it. Talk about that later.
I'm just new to that part.
Okay, great. You all need to pick up the phone. It's a dying breed. The people who can actually speak verbally, it's a dying breed.
Well, that means that whoever can
Hence the conversation. That's why I'm saying if you pick up the phone and you actually get interested in another human being, you're going to stand out from most of the people. Give it another 5 years, you're going to stand out from pretty much everybody. Hold on real quick. So by really getting in there and having a conversation, getting interested in your customer, you will notice things shift. Clear? Yeah, what are you going to say?
I get this a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's because artists have a tendency to be flaky. No idea. But I constantly get, it's great to talk to you on the phone. Can we do I want to talk in person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Skype.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Scott, you can be,
Yeah.
I get it too.
I mean, I get clients, I could be as nice about it as I want, but they're like, no, I'd rather meet you in person.
I say no.
Okay, yeah. I'm just too busy. I can't.
I just met Bill today. I walked in, I thought he was someone else. Hey dude, sorry man.
Yeah.
I don't see people in person.
Yeah.
It's just a rule I have.
Yeah.
Just based on my schedule, it's not a possibility. So when you make it a rule, it'll handle itself. And we could talk about that at the end. Come see me at the end, I can give you some more on that. And I want to make sure we finish what you brought up. When you're calling your customers and you're doing a check-in call and just simply checking in and keeping rapport, you do that enough, you will be on a different list in your client's mind. Now, this is about to go into a different conversation, which I can't finish in here. We can circle back later. Or you can see me at the end and I can say more. But how you market your clients email-wise needs to be very unique. So a lot of people are always asking or promoting when they email. Sale, sale, look at this, look at this. No one wants that. They get that from everybody. Someone said it in here earlier, I don't remember who actually said it. When he said to be a resource, that's what we're going for. When you're being a resource to your customers, they will be interested in opening your stuff because it's actually valuable. You're actually giving them something without taking. That's rare. So that's a whole nother conversation about building a marketing plan. Your marketing plan is what fulfills on that. Okay? So let's look at database because we're clear on what you need to say. Being effective at marketing has a lot to do with your segmentation of your database. So again, this is going to change based on industry, so I'm going to speak this in generalities. For most companies, you have active customers, people who are actively buying from you. You have inactive or non-active customers, people who have not bought from you in the last year. Someone like construction, I usually take that to about 2 years, Rob. So if someone hasn't bought from you or done business with you in about 2 years, I still keep them, that's non-active or inactive. Old customers. So active is someone who's currently buying from you now, working with you now. Inactive or non-active is in the last 12 months. Depends on your industry. Most industries is 12 months. Someone who's an old client is someone who hasn't worked with you or done business with you in a year or more. So in Rob, your case, 2 years or more. Okay, so why do we segment? Why do we need to segment out our database?
Different approach?
Different approach. Yes, exactly. Your active customers, you want to cross-sell to them. Different approach, you're cross-selling. Different products, different services to them. Inactive clients, you want to stay connected. You want to stay in front of them. Keep up the rapport, keep up the relationship. Old clients, people who haven't done business with you in a long time, very different approach. Generally, your approach, you need to reestablish a connection. It's been a while, they're cold. They're cold. You got to reestablish a connection and a relationship. One of the best ways of doing this is going to be through a discount or a deal of some kind. This is about the only population I like to give discounts to. You can call them or communicate with them because you have a new product or a new service and you want to let them know, keep them abreast of what's happening. Or if there's a very important piece of information that you want to send out to them, something that's valuable. Those are generally the main ways of interacting with an old customer that would get them hopefully active again. That make sense? So bottom line, whatever database you have, if you don't have one, better get one. Start to segment out your clients so you know how to target market them. Does that make sense? Any questions?
What database would you recommend?
Oi, that is not an easy. For your industry, I honestly don't think I could give you one. See me at the end, and I can kick around some that I've seen. Outlook is probably a little too basic, where like Infusionsoft might be a little too massive.
Well, Intuit owns Salesforce now, and you can get a subscription to Salesforce.com that's completely integrated with your QuickBooks.
Really?
$25 a month.
No kidding?
No kidding.
That I didn't know. So Salesforce is an awesome program. It's huge, but if they have
They have a slimmed down version.
they have a slim down, I didn't know that. Salesforce is awesome. Check out Salesforce. Yeah, and come see me or Renee at the end. I'm sure we can kick around some other ones for you because industries have specific software. Okay? All right, let's move to the next segment. So we talked about referrals. We've talked about past customers. Now let's talk about business alliances. So what is a business alliance?
When you partner with somebody, with another person.
Okay, good. A partner with
Cross-marketing, kind of cross-marketing.
kind of cross-marketing with another business. Okay, good. What else? What do you think of business alliances? It's good. A little bit more.
Like in my field, if look at Digital House, that mostly does video, they don't do much websites.
Okay.
Many websites, they'll come to somebody like me and say, hey, can you work with us on this project? That's another way to do it, to
Yep.
kind of beef up your arsenal.
Okay, good.
Like a group of related fields, right?
Yeah, it's to succinctly say it, it's a mutually beneficial relationship between two businesses. So a mutually beneficial relationship between two businesses. Now, question is, how is it mutually beneficial? There's three ways that I know of, or that are familiar, that are mutually beneficial. So what are the three ways that we and another business can be mutually beneficial to each other? What do you think?
You refer clients back and forth.
Yep, refer clients back and forth. Yes, what else? Knowledge? Yep.
Sometimes they know more than I may know.
Good. That's one that's usually missed. That's usually the last one. Knowledge. They're being a resource. Can I say resource? Would that work? So when someone's being a resource to you, or you're being a resource to them. So you may not send them clients. They may not send you clients. You are a resource to them, or they're a resource to you. That makes it mutually beneficial. That one's usually missed. So I'm willing to bet from doing this enough times, a lot of you are missing out on some business alliances because you think you can't send them any clients. But because you're a knowledgeable resource, it would be a great relationship for them. There's one more. Yep, firsthand.
Services, like you provide something or they provide something that you or your end user need?
That would fall as being a resource. You're correct. I would still lump that into that you're being a resource to them. Want to try it?
Prefer pricing, you can get competitive advantage.
I'm going to stretch this one. I'm going to stretch it to referral fee. Referral fee, it's what you said. Do you remember when she asked me about the referral fee and I didn't skip a beat? Because you need to have a referral program. You do. It's very good. We'll talk about that in a minute. So giving a referral fee. Those are the different ways that a business alliance can be mutually beneficial. So let's advance the conversation. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Possibly two more. Joint venture partnership and affiliate partnership.
They would still fall into like someone's either getting money for it, so a referral fee, or you would be being a resource.
Okay.
But yeah, you're correct. That would be the form of doing it. Yep. So let's advance this a little bit more. We need to.
Third one, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's someone's being a resource, referral fee, or you're sending clients back and forth. Did you get those three?
So referral fee they want.
Referral fee is going to be one. Referring clients back and forth would be two. Or being a resource to another business, or they're being a resource to you would be three. So here's what we need to do. We do need to find business alliances. So I want to be very clear before we start to do the work on this. Your business alliance needs to be interacting with your ideal client. You got to know who your ideal client is. You got to be clear who your ideal client is. We don't want to go build relationships with another business who's not working with someone who's perfect for your business. And some of you are trying to shift your ideal client right now. Okay, so it's very important. Because there's a lot of businesses who would love to work with you. but the people that are going to send you either can't afford you or you don't enjoy working with. So let's not do that. So if you do not know who your ideal client is, you've got to do that for homework. You've got to do that for homework. It'll take you a whopping 20 minutes to write that on paper. So here's what I want you to do. Just get present to a second. I'm not going to talk for a minute. I want you to get present to who your ideal client is. That might be someone you're already working with. So you have a client right now who you like, this person is just like a dream client. Picture them for a second. You should be picturing them, not thinking. Picture, picture, picture. Okay. Now, ask yourself, what businesses, what industries, not people, what industries, what businesses interact with that ideal client? So Rob, what are some business alliances that interact with your ideal client?
Business alliances or industries?
Same thing.
I would say entertainment, technology,
Okay.
sports.
Sports? Okay. What would be some businesses that you can think of?
Actual businesses? Or,
Yeah, actual business. Do you actually know some businesses that would fit in that category? 'Cause I would actually think different than that.
Oh.
I would think architect.
Oh, see, I was thinking client versus partner.
Oh, got it. Yeah, we want to look at what are some of the industries that are already working with, doing business with. So start again. Shoot it again. What are some industries?
From my perspective,
Yeah.
real estate brokers, architects, interior designers.
Yep. Awesome. So now you want to go find, you probably want 3 of each. Sometimes 2. 2 to 3 is generally a good amount. You always want between 2 and 3 business alliances in each category. You don't want to lump all your eggs in one basket. You want to also give your customer some diversity. Because sometimes someone lives in a different part of town. Sometimes someone needs a male or a female. Sometimes it's different personality type or different treatment style, different approach. Yeah. So you all want several businesses in each area that's good for you.
So what would be like my areas?
Tell everyone what you do.
I am a graphic designer who specializes in branding and web.
One more time so they can hear you with some enthusiasm would be awesome.
I'm a graphic designer who specializes in branding and web design.
Got it. So what would be some business alliances for her?
Does she program herself?
Do you do programming?
No, I work with a programmer.
Good. She would need several programmers, right?
Yeah, it'd be better to branch out, not just use one program.
Right. So do you do video on your site, on sites that you design?
Do I actually shoot it?
No. Do you recommend that your clients have videos on their site?
Yes.
Great. So a videographer, Mr. Ron in the back. Yeah.
Other people that do marketing for people, like, and that makes sense, but I'll explain. Like Yelp, because and Reach Local, they sign up new customers, but they don't do web design, and they sub that out to web designers.
Yep. And just marketing consultants, period. Business coaches, people who deal with your ideal client, right?
And other web design companies, because sometimes they have too much work and need to.
Yep. Deal with a big firm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get someone who's like, listen, you don't fit my price point. You know, I can't take care of you. There you go. There's enough. So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. I want you to write down at least 4. You got to find at least 4 industries that would make a good fit for your business. Any questions on that? Question?
No, I understand. We just did it before.
Oh, no problem. No problem. You're fast. So take a minute or two and write down at least 4 industries. Go. You can write down more. Y'all have some? All right. What's that? All right, good. All right, so let's hear it. So I want to take some sharing. Here's how I want you to share from this side. I want you to say who you are, your name. I want you to say what you do. And then I want you to say who you're looking for. So, who wants to go? First hand. So, what's your name?
My name's Keisha. I sell a healthy treat. It's like a cake pop, no gluten, no dairy, no soy. Created it myself. The businesses I'm looking for are gyms, CrossFit, health stores like Windmill Markets, Whole Foods, yoga studios, bakeries, deli shops.
Awesome. So how many of you know anyone that might be a potential lead for that? Okay, see how that works? So what do you think you're going to do at the end of the night? Yeah. Yeah. Great, who else? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jericho, and I do swimming pool service.
Okay.
And I'm basically looking for anyone that has a swimming pool. Hotels, management companies, real estate, homeowners, rental people.
Yep. So how many of you know people in those industries? Because you see how for a second there you were trying to go for the customer versus the business alliance? Real estate agents would be huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Property managers, huge. You land a big property management firm who manages over 200-300 companies, or sorry, properties, done. I know one in Birmingham, Alabama where I'd refer you. I know the biggest one in Alabama. Yeah.
There could be like landscape architects, like there's a lot, I feel like.
Landscape architects would be massive.
We wrote down management companies, hotels, pool builders, real estate agents, other pool guys.
Yep.
And then landscaping design and outdoor design.
Yep. Awesome. How many of you know anyone in those fields? Yeah. Got some hands to talk to. But you see how easy this is? So if you were to go find 2 or 3 people in each one of those industries, and you just did the math, what if they each give you 1 referral a year? That'd be about 12 plus accounts. At least. You guys get that? Business alliances, from my experience in coaching businesses, and I've worked with over 2,000 companies, from all that interaction, my experience tells me business alliances is one of the most underutilized area of marketing in word-of-mouth marketing. For some reason, there's fear, there's concern about going and actually meeting and talking to another business owner. It's really interesting. So how many of you do not want any more customers? Raise your hand if you want no more customers. Okay, how many of you wouldn't mind another customer or two? Okay. Did you know that pretty much every other business owner is just like you? They wouldn't mind a few more customers. So if you were to call them up and say, hey, listen, we should meet. I think I have some clients that are good for you, and vice versa. I think we share a lot of the same people. If we partner up, we can help a lot more people, and it'd benefit both of our businesses. Not a lot of business owners are like, yeah, no, I got way too much business. I don't have time for that. People are receptive. You all are sitting here because you want more business. And there's other business owners who want more business too, but they're too scared to pick up the phone. Call them. Stop by their office. They're going to be really receptive. You're another business owner. Like, this is a club. Come in. Business owners are just cool people. We are. We're just cool people. So you want to hang out with them. Go meet them. They're fun. They're struggling. They're dealing with life just like you are. They got their challenges. They got, whatever they're dealing with. Business alliances is meeting a friend in the business domain. Here's why I'm saying that too. After I give this coaching to people, I then notice a pitfall. Is now they have a list, and they go out, they build up the courage, and they go out and they meet some people, and they met some awesome business alliances, and then nothing happens. That was it. There's no follow-up. There's no follow-up after the follow-up. No, there's no nurturing. This is a relationship like any other relationship. It's just in the business domain.
I was just thinking about that because you and Aaron and I worked together, and I did broke down my database and whatever, and I have one called Alliances.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I've never sent another email to that list ever. It's like the one I just look over and send to the customers, send to the restaurant owners. I don't think I've ever just generated a how you doing.
Yeah. And it takes how many? 16 touches? It's a lot of communication.
I think business alliances are a lot easier to nurture than potential clients even.
Agreed.
Because you've got common ground and it's.
And you're not selling them anything.
You're not,
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's
There's
just a conversation.
I'm telling you, this is one of the most powerful things you guys can take out of tonight. I know referrals is huge for generating business, and past customers is very valuable. Business alliances, again, is a underutilized area of marketing. It's endless how many people you can find. Endless. And there's two ways of communication. Let's get real clear on this before we move on next. Two ways. First, you can communicate with a business alliance on, you're a business owner, I'm a business owner. What are you dealing with? Hey, do you know a good program I can use? I can't figure out this Excel. Do you know how to use Excel? Hey, do you know a good attorney? Hey, do you know a good bookkeeper? We can connect peer to peer. So valuable. Resource. And then, hey, listen, I got this customer, but I don't know if I'm the right person to handle them. Do you know someone for this? Or can you take it? Or hey, listen, I got a spot coming available. Do you happen to know someone who might need this? Oh, you do? Well, can you make an introduction? I can ask you for referrals. So I can ask them for referrals, or I can talk to them about bookkeeping. I can ask you, hey, how's your marketing plan? Do you have a good, I don't understand social media. Can you explain it to me? There's two ways you can interact with a business alliance. Both ways you're supposed to.
It's also really good for building your team.
Yeah.
For finding new talent. You know, someone may have interviewed with you, may not have been a good fit, but maybe culturally they might have been a better fit for Stephanie, perhaps.
Exactly. Yeah. I have a law firm right now, lost their office manager, made some calls, boom. When you need a staff member, when you need something, calling your sphere of influence, why we're all here. We're supposed to be building a sphere of influence here. This is why people come every month. You guys can meet people that you can tap into if you need a resource. Between everyone in the room, we pretty much got it all covered. We got attorneys, bookkeepers, graphic design, health. We got pretty much every. If you need something, someone in here knows the answer. And if just as a game, if you all worked with each other and tried to network with each other, all of you would increase all of your businesses at once in the next couple months. Consider that. Okay, let's keep rolling. Let's see, do we miss anything? Got to put this in. So we just finished talking about business alliances, and earlier we talked about referrals. So there's a correlation here, which we brought up slightly a few minutes ago, which is a referral program. If you don't have a referral program in your business, you need one. Very important. Because when your business alliance sends you a referral, it's great to have a referral program in place. When a customer sends you a referral, you want to have a referral program in place. Now, I'm going to make this really simple. Here's the purpose of a referral program. Actually, you tell me, what's the purpose? Someone tell me, what's the purpose of a referral program?
Positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement. Yes, I like that. I was going for another answer, but that is a very good one. What else?
Incentives.
Nope. Nope.
Just thank you.
Thank you for their time.
Thank you for their what?
Time.
Time and?
And their referral, talking about
Effort.
you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Great. It's not in. We got to be careful with incentive. That's why I said that. Incentives can be misconstrued as manipulation. So I would just be careful there. Your intention is everything in life. Your intention is very decisive here. You want your referral program to be clearly stated. It's a way of thanking someone, another human being, for going out of their way to take their time and their energy to introduce you to another human being. If they are clear and your referral note that accompanies it says that, or when you call them it says that, it'll do wonders for your business. Because you're acknowledging that your life is very busy. I got it. You are so busy, and you took the time to do this. Thank you. And make your referral program heavy enough where it's going to make a home run. I see a lot of people get really cheap and chintzy with this. I'll give them $10. Awesome. They don't care. They don't care about $10.
It's like giving 10% off the deal.
Yeah, it's like you're barely going to cover my Starbucks bill.
One thing maybe to sort of broaden the understanding of what's going on here is to realize that there's a lifetime value to that customer. So if you're thinking, I'll give $10 away, you're not thinking about that lifetime value.
Right.
Because that person, if they recur with you over and over again, they're going to be worth thousands of times $10.
Yep. That's what you want to do. Brilliantly said. The average customer in a service business stays there for 4 years. So just to do the math on 4 years, how often the customer sees you over 4 years? It's worth it. Because if it doesn't make an impact, it didn't work. You know, if someone actually thinks, like, that was actually really worth my time that I got that, cool. Yeah?
Would you talk about this referral program during the referral conversation, so towards the end?
Brilliant that you said that.
Okay.
So, again, you got to be careful here. Use your tact. Be over there with the customer and you'll hear what's appropriate. I will generally have a referral conversation and let the conversation be just done. And then sometimes like, oh, and by the way, just so you know, I do have a referral program. So it's kind of like an afterthought. I don't do it all the time after. Sometimes I may ask and then down the road I may let them know. Or sometimes you can just kind of drop the hint. And depending on the kind of business, like if you're a nutritionist and people actually saw you, you could have referral cards sitting out. So they actually get it themselves. So there's different ways of doing it.
Do you truly in your head use it as an incentive, not telling them that, but do you sometimes never say it?
Oh, sometimes I never say it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you're looking for that guy that's he's 90% there, but he's not quite, and then you go, just so that you know. Is it like that?
No, I use it to tip them over the top. Like once they've referred me someone, I say it, it's more like, dude, you don't have to do that. I'm like, oh, I know.
Right.
I want to acknowledge you. So I come at it from a slightly different perspective than what I'm saying. I think acknowledgement is rare in the world. My personal own Aaron Keith opinion. But I think acknowledgement is very rare. Most people don't, listen, I really acknowledge you for being here tonight. Thanks for spending the time to be here. Most people don't acknowledge. So I want to do this as an acknowledgement. So the letter that I write actually says that. And you've gotten a million of them. You know. How does it come across to you? You've actually gotten them from me before.
I think I've stolen some of yours. I didn't see a trademark on it.
No.
But
Attorney, sewer.
I just kind of tweak it a little bit to make it more personal to me. But yeah, it's exactly that. I find that my business alliances, I don't tell them about the referral, but if I get a referral, they're always really pleasantly surprised. They get a handwritten note and a nice check.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nice because they're like, wow. And then usually I do get that call. You didn't have to do that. And that's the door opener.
Yeah.
You know?
So
And it's authentic.
That's the clincher.
So you don't say it up front.
I don't.
It just comes in the mail.
Mm-hmm. It just comes in the mail.
Yeah. Again, use your tact. Use your judgment. You're all smart business owners or you wouldn't be in business. Use your judgment. Think about it. See what it applies. You know, and get creative. You know, get creative. Creativity these days is worth it. Okay? So let's keep rolling. So we've talked about referrals, talked about past clients, talked about business alliances. Now what's left? You guys got no energy. Come on. Come on, networking. Get excited. So let's get present to what networking is. Networking is an opportunity you have to interact with an individual or a group. So I want you to tell me what's up. What's really there for you? What do you deal with? What are your concerns, your feelings, your emotions about actually networking with other people? What comes up for you?
It seems disingenuous sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Like it's an event.
It's not just me.
Yeah.
Not just you.
Good.
Yeah. And sometimes it's the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
And sometimes it just feels forced. Like when you go to an event, you know that that's the purpose, and even though it's like you want to do it and stuff like that, it just feels a little awkward.
Yeah. Feels awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awkward. Disingenuine. What else? Yep.
It requires faith.
It does. Faith in what specifically?
Faith
Right. A lot of times it's later. Mm-hmm.
It's time consuming.
Very.
It's not selective.
Yeah, and this is why we're talking about it, because how many of you go to events and you don't walk away with business? It's common. What are some of the pitfalls you run into? Yeah.
Talk to two people and I find the door.
You're gone. You're out of there. Yeah?
Because it's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. It can definitely be uncomfortable. Why is it uncomfortable? A lot of you, it's uncomfortable because you don't know what to say. You don't. You don't know what to say. Right? So the best way to figure out what to say is by actually doing it. Actually practicing what you say. So Bill, stand up. Tell everyone who you are and what you do.
My name's Bill, and I'm a dentist.
Got it. Thank you. What do you do?
My name is Rose, and I'm a yoga teacher.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bob, what do you do?
My name is Robert, and I'm an advanced service trainer for wait staff.
Okay. Stephanie, what do you do?
My name's Stephanie, and I'm a dietitian.
Okay. Tracy, what do you do?
My name's Tracy. I work for Dr. Bill, but my husband owns a pool company.
Okay, great. And what do you do?
I am the insurance coordinator
Got it.
for Dr.
Okay. Noemi, what do you do?
Noemi, and I own a company in the water purification industry.
Awesome. So why did we just do that? So to be effective at networking, you have to communicate effectively, yes? Now, how many of you noticed that, and again, I love you all dearly. I'm going to coach you. How many of you thought that what they all said was very interesting? Wasn't very, was that really interesting? No. Not really interesting, was it? How many people who spoke, it was really crystal clear what they did for a living? Yeah, some clear, yeah, dentist, yeah, guy, I know what that is, how that feels. Love ya. See you in 6 months. To be effective at networking, it has to be interesting. It has to be very clear that you do something and you have to communicate to that person. It has to be very clear that they know what you do. Very clear, very concise way. It has to be interesting. That wasn't interesting. You have 15 seconds to get across what it is that you do. Most of you took 3, if that. That's not going to be effective. That's why a lot of you walk out of networking without true leads. Now, I want to take sharing from those of you who listened to the exercise. What was your experience in listening to them? So what was your experience in listening to them?
I wanted to know more.
Okay, good. What was your experience in listening to them?
That it was very concise and they just said their title, like I didn't know much about them.
Got it. What was your experience in listening to them?
It was factual.
Very factual, wasn't it?
Very factual.
Yeah. So the purpose of a conversation, networking, is to create an opening in a conversation. You have a moment to create an opening in a conversation. And that conversation will either become something or the person will walk away and continue on with their day. How that opening goes is entirely up to you. It's your job to create an opening in a conversation, period. So if what you say isn't interesting, you're not going to create an opening. Hence, you're probably not going to be very effective. You get that? Mm-hmm. So a piece of coaching you want to write down, you need to write down on paper or type on your computer a 15-second statement of what it is that you do. Now, I don't mean the BNI, LaTip. A good lead for me is someone who is, that's not what we're talking about. That's a conversation that's appropriate only for a networking group. Only. You would never say that out in the world, hopefully. A 15-second statement should be able to be said at a funeral and it be appropriate. It's not marketing. It's not pitchy. There's no hooks in it. That's something else. That's not communicating. A 15-second statement is clearly, this is what I do. That you're saying it in such a way that in under 15 seconds, someone is clear what you do. And it's interesting. So interesting such, they say, wow, that's really interesting. Can you tell me more about that? Even if they don't need your service, have no interest in your service, that what you said was so interesting, like, wow, Tell me more about that. That's really interesting. That way we created an opening. That's the opening. So you want to wordsmith this and wordsmith this until it's effective. Clear?
Yes.
Any questions on that? Yeah, in the back. Nice and loud.
I have a question about actual networking, the first question that you said.
Yeah, nice and loud.
So my question is that one thing that I hesitate to with networking with other people, even at an event like this, is I don't want to be sold by anyone else. So I want to say my piece and then not hear their piece. So what would be your advice about that in a networking situation?
That's great.
And now in this situation, obviously it's different. There's some comfort. We've just been practicing this, but you're going to a Chamber of Commerce thing. I'm like, I don't care what you do.
Right.
So, and I don't want to buy anything. I just want to sell my thing. So
Yeah.
how do you speak to that?
Well, there's two things in there. One's mindset. When you're going, you have to be clear this isn't sales. So I've watched this in this room before. I watch this when I go networking myself. We start talking and there's some interest. And that you can see their eyes light up like, oh, I have them. And it's like, here's my contract, give me your credit card, we can start tomorrow. And you're like, whoa. Thought we were just getting to know each other. People take this to a whole new degree. So networking falls under the domain of marketing, not sales. Sales is the distinction of someone determining whether they're going to buy or not buy from you. That's not what we're doing now. That's rushing the date a little bit. Okay? This is marketing. It's the first date. Got to keep it easy. Okay? Marketing is simply building interest with another human being. Period. Build interest, then move the conversation to a sales conversation at a later date. When you're networking, I watch so many people, they talk and then someone becomes interested and you go in for the kill. You rushed in. It's the first date. Stop. Once they're interested, great. Here's what we should do. We're networking. We got some people we should probably mingle with. Let's follow up next week and have a conversation. Really get into this further. It's great meeting you. Move on. I watched so many people talk to 2 people in an hour. This is networking. It's not sales. You want to be effective, move on. You should be talking for a couple minutes, get to know each other. If there's a connection, let's schedule another conversation, or let's talk, let's have coffee, let's meet, let's do lunch. Move the conversation forward. Make sense? No good music? Okay. Yeah?
I work a lot with associations and have for years, and what I've learned for me is I don't talk to anybody. I just go multiple times, and by the 3rd time, everyone talks to me.
It's good. Yeah, you bring people to you.
Well, say more about that. It's that he keeps showing up.
Yeah.
He becomes a familiar face.
Mm-hmm.
He's always there.
So there's some consistency in your marketing.
Yeah, if you do it once, it's pointless, but
Right.
But if you do it twice, you'll find you meet a few people that are comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 3rd time, the comfortable people realize you're comfortable, and then they introduce you to people.
Right. That's one of the things, too. That's one of the reasons this thing exists. People come here every month. They're reliable. They're vetted out. They're solid human beings who have like-mindedness about them. You want to find places around town that are consistent. And like he's saying, he's very effective at marketing and sales. I know him personally. He's very effective, okay? Big company, does very well at what he does. Very smart, runs a good team. You have to be consistent. If you're not a consistent human being, why should someone trust you? That's what a lot of this is, right? We're building trust. This is the first date. We're building trust. So if you're here then gone and it's all about you, it's not going to work. Those people who are interested in other people are the ones who generally excel. When it's all about me marketing, never really goes very far. And granted, when your business is new or your business is in a struggling place, it's hard to not be about you, right? Let's just be honest, it's tough. You need the clients. I'm not saying this is easy, but no matter what state your business is in, before you actually walk into that event, you got to table that stuff. Get real clear that you want to make a difference for another human being. And ask yourself, am I going to keep showing up that this is a good event? Am I going to be a familiar face? Am I going to be interested in other people? I watch so many people network. Here's another mistake, another pitfall. You go and all you do is you talk about yourself. And you talk, and you talk, and you talk, and you finally look across, the other person's like, yep, great meeting you too. Some of you are just talking because you're so nervous. You don't know what you're saying. Practice what you're saying. It's a scripted conversation to a big degree. So after you write down your 15-second statement, and someone says, wow, that's really interesting. Tell me more about that. Okay, great.
15 seconds seems a little long.
Up to more than 15 seconds is long. But you have about up to 15 seconds before the person's like, oh boy. Some businesses are very unique and complicated, and it actually takes a little bit of explaining to get it across. But again, time it for yourself and see what works for you. It's about what works for you guys. So once someone says, wow, Rob, that's really interesting, tell me more. You can't go droning on and on for another 2 minutes. You got about a minute or so, and then you got to pass it back over. Then they should go. Be interested.
And actually listen.
And yes, don't be thinking about what you're going to say back.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, is if you practice this conversation, you know how you're going to answer your questions. You know how you're going to intelligently speak about your business. You can be free to be present with another human being. And as you've all noticed, that's a gift these days. Yeah, tell me more about your business. Yep. That's really interesting. Okay, nice meeting you. I'll call you. You get that in networking groups, don't you?
Yeah.
You do. That's actually real life. That's horrible, isn't that? Scary. So being present with another human being will have you be so distinct and separate from them. So distinct and separate from other people that you're going to be networking with. Yeah.
I noticed that too, because we all went around the room, and I wanted to explain a little bit more, but people before me were like, oh, this is my name, this is what I do, and I was afraid to be different and actually explain more. So I think we fall into the trap of just following other people's lead and not differentiating ourselves.
Yeah.
Totally, because I felt dumb. I'm like, I've been in this seminar before. I could not believe I just said that. Here's my name, my title, and that's it.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think I stood all the way up.
You did you did the one-hander. Yep. What's going on, guys? Yeah. Interesting. And he's actually been to the seminar where we actually stand up and go row by row by row for about 10 minutes, mocking this over and over again. So I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you've practiced this before. Most people, when put on the spot, choke. You haven't practiced. You've got to practice and get yourself grounded in it. The fastest way to practice your referral conversation, to practice this conversation, is the mirror. Actors do it. It causes memorization very fast. Standing in the mirror and saying what you do over and over, boom. Because if you can be with yourself, saying it, you can be with anyone. Because you're the one who gets weird, not them. So if you can be with yourself in the mirror saying it, you get it. It locks in real fast. And you can watch like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm looking at my forehead. I'm looking at my forehead. Okay, eyes. Okay, eyes. Stare at myself. So do you know? So do you have? And you watch, and you're like fidgety, like. So do you happen to know anyone who? You watch all your weirdness. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even ask myself for referrals. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. When I mock this seminar, I'm in the mirror because I have a big, huge mocking area, and I'm like, and so I want to like, no, mock. Be with yourself, damn it. It's hard. It takes practice, okay? But it works. So again, tonight's seminar is about being effective. Not comfortable, effective at marketing. So this is the work. Have your attention on making a difference for another human being. Do the mirror work. Write down some of these conversations. Practice. Your livelihood depends on it, right? You should do it. So, who read the intention? You read the intention, yes? Can you read it one more time?
Sure. That you leave here with a higher level of confidence and effectiveness in word-of-mouth marketing.
Thank you. Did we do that? Yes. Okay, cool. So now I want to take sharing. I want to hear, what did you all get out of tonight's seminar, the work we did? What'd you get?
Well, definitely the approach with networking, because I was just at a luncheon yesterday and I bombed it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you do? What'd you do wrong?
Nothing. That was it. Yeah.
You're
I
silent.
tend to be very quiet and I get really shy when I'm not in my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to just stand back and watch a lot.
Okay.
And then once I'm comfortable, I speak up. And just the whole past customers thing. I'm terrified to call them and ask, is it me?
Yeah. You don't have to ask if it's me. Just ask what they need.
No, I know.
Check in with them.
That's just what I'm thinking.
Right.
I would never ask that.
Some people do. It's not a bad thing, but okay. So good. What are your takeaways? What are you going to now do? So what's the action? I want action out of this. So what's the action you're going to now take?
Definitely create a program for my referrals, past customers, the sales force, sending emails maybe on, for me, example, beauty tips now, so it's not just,
Yep.
hey, I need you back. I'm actually going to be giving them something so they're looking forward to my emails. And then the whole networking thing. I've never sat in front of the mirror and practiced anything.
It'll help a lot of what's nervous about you. It'll ground you. Yeah. How many of you, one of your takeaways tonight is there's some emails to send to some past customers and check in? Anyone? Yeah?
And actually use the phone.
And use the phone.
So
That's a big
it's
one.
simple. But then, you know, when I think about calling, I think about when you call, like, for instance, like, I'm with T-Mobile, and, like, you're like, okay, press 1 if you want this, press 2, and, like, the only thing I want to talk to a real person. I don't care about all this automatic stuff.
Yes.
So that's the idea that came to me, like, when, like, yeah, you need to call on the past customer, not, like, just email.
Yeah. It makes the world of difference. World of difference. Now, I'm gonna throw out a suggestion. Okay, there's a little lob out there. Technology is moving in a fast pace, as we all know, right? There's another medium that I would suggest. It's definitely going to be, from my prediction, the way things will be moving for a while, which is video. There's a service called bomb, like a bomb, like a B-O-M-B. So bomb.com. I did not make that up. Anyway, great service for email. It sends video with the video directly in the body of the email. It's really great. There's other services out there too, but one thing to consider to be different than a lot of your competitors and to get your energy across, your eyes, your speaking, your mannerism, like really be there without being there, send a video email. It's a way of changing up your marketing. Be a little different than the other people. It's not going to be a substitution for the phone, but it works.
Do you have to upload your own video, or?
Yeah, you can take it off your iPhone.
You have to edit your own.
Yeah.
At the time?
Yeah, I mean, generally, if you're sending an email or a video, it should be short. Yeah, it should be 30 seconds, minute max. Yeah, you want to keep it short. All right, what else? What else did you all get?
I like the referral conversation, the whole script. I think it's really cool. It's really good.
Practice it. Let me know what you get.
I have a recommendation, if I can
Yeah.
say this.
Please.
In order to practice this networking, there's a meetup group called Exceptional Entrepreneurs.
Nice.
And they have business networking. In fact, right over here at the restaurant right next door.
Sweet.
Tomorrow, right? There's going to be one tomorrow.
Usually on Thursday, yeah.
Great.
Great it's all small business owners. They have one in Mira Mesa, one here. Really good place.
It's good. And that's what you want. Yeah, say the name of it.
Exceptional Entrepreneurs. Just go on Meetup and search for that.
Excellent. That's what you want. You want to find quality places around town, like we talked about earlier, that are filled with either A, your business alliance, your ideal business alliance, or B, your ideal customer. We want that. Okay, so keep finding places to network where either your ideal customer is there or your ideal business alliance is there. Okay? All right, so let's wrap this up. I want to cover what we're going over next month. Next month is on increasing your performance and effectiveness as a business owner. So increasing your performance and effectiveness as a business owner. We're going to go to town on how you perform. We're going to look at your habits, your personal habits. We're going to be looking at your systems, your structures, your processes. We're going to look at how you conduct yourself at the office. We're going to go to town on your habits, and we're going to break all that stuff up. Next month has a lot of coaching. It's a very heavy coaching conversation. So we're going to identify what's in the way with your performance. Most business owners can benefit by increasing their performance. If you look at it, some of you I know have staff, some of you don't. But if you perform better, your business performs better. Would you agree? The people around you perform better. So next month is about getting in there and actually getting straight about what's going on with my performance, my effectiveness. What is it? Is it a system? Is it a structure? Is it mindset? Is it a habit? What is it? And actually breaking that up once and for all so that you walk out of here performing at a whole new level. That's our commitment.